We just watched season 3, episode 6 of Gilmore Girls. We have thoughts. I'm Chemda. I've watched this a million times.
I'm Carrie. This is my first time seeing it ever in my life, and I'm being protected from spoilers.
In fact, I don't even tell her the title. We keep that away from her. I'm about to reveal the title to this woman for the first time.
I don't even know the titles, because what if the title is like Dean dies?
Oh my God.
You know, like there's a spoiler in the title because it's happened before.
Well, what are you naming the title? We have alternative titles. What would you name
this is what
this?
I would have called this episode Green is the New Pink.
Oh, good one. Okay. And I didn't even think of that. Okay.
What would you have called it?
I have Squeegee Beckenheim.
Nice. I like it.
I have Stop the Noodle Scoos.
Okay.
Which Gilmore friends say as a, we stop the noodle scoos. You could say that in passing to us anytime. Okay. Carrie will thoroughly enjoy it. I decided for her. And my final one is The Devil Made Me Do It.
Oh. Deviled exceptional.
Yes. What would you guys call the show? Subscribe.
You would call us a show Subscribe?
Yeah, this one.
That's a really good idea for the name of a show, because then you'd be like, have you listened to that show called Subscribe? And they'd be like, what? And then everyone would subscribe to that show. But instead of subscribing to that show, you should subscribe to our show. How about that?
You are a smooth operator.
Yeah, I brought it back to us. But yes, also, don't start a competing podcast called Subscribe, because that was my idea.
You should. You should, and link us right back.
Yeah, just
okay. The actual title. Yes.
Link us back. Yeah, give me credit. What is the actual title?
Take the Deviled Eggs.
Take the Deviled Eggs. All right, let me write that down.
Take the Deviled Eggs.
Take the deviled eggs. I did not like the deviled egg abuse in this episode. We'll get there.
I appreciate that. I think that my view of everything has changed over the last couple decades. And I almost hate it because, it's like when you get older, you'll see. And it's like, well, I'm older and I do see, and everyone was right. Great. So
about not wanting to waste protein?
I did always feel that. I did always feel like somebody could have enjoyed that. Just go get some raw eggs. Like, be a rebel with your own food. I don't know. I did have those thoughts. But yeah, you're right. We'll get to it. Because the cold open, I always like Carrie's response to the cold open.
Because it's always so confusing. And I wrote down, okay, so they're going through catalogs and she's like, I'm going to, unsubscribe basically from these catalogs. And I was like, she's doing catalog purge, which I'm fully in favor of. And I wrote down, the internet saved us from, the internet helps with this. There's a website called Catalog Choice that allows you to just unsubscribe from catalogs. It's the best.
Oh,
they didn't pay me to say that. I'm just as a person who doesn't like to get catalogs.
I don't like to get mail, period. I always opt in for the electronic everything.
Yeah, I don't get paper mail anymore.
It's annoying. And then, it's 10,000 letters of nothing and things pretending to be, the IRS or some government something. And then one letter that it's like, oh, I haven't looked at my mail because nothing's important. And then you get the one thing that it's like, I wish I had this, or I got it a month late because who looks at the mail?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or wedding invitations still come by mail, which is great. But then you RSVP online. So cut out the middleman. It's fine. But I still like
my wedding invitation was a link.
Was a
to
link.
A website.
Yeah. Because you're saving the planet and people from not opening their mailboxes because they don't get any mail. Well, I sent out 2 thank you notes today, though. So 2 of my friends now have.
I still love that about you, though. I just complained about mail, and I still love Carrie mail. I feel like it's different.
But you won't get it for a month because nobody checks their mail anymore.
Exactly. But then when I get it, I'm like, oh, I hope it's not time sensitive. As long as it's not time sensitive, I'm like, oh, that's nice. Carrie made the mail nice today.
Yeah,
it's
I wrote
it's
a
not
thank you
bad
note.
News. Yeah, it's very sweet.
I owe you guys a thank you note.
Because
you brought me a lovely gift for my birthday.
You You hear him laughing?
Why is our producer laughing at that?
Because we bought you the most ridiculous gift.
You got me wedding magazines for my birthday.
We put you on the catalogs.
Yeah, you put me on catalog mailing lists. That was a good prank gift that I will. And you named me. One time I was on a list and the R's got combined, like the R's and CARRIE, and they got squished together. And my name was Carne, which is Spanish for meat.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
So Carne Gravenson was like on a list for a while.
That's Carne Gravenson?
Carne Gravenson. You wouldn't mess with her.
Oh, that's a good stage name.
Yeah, mi amo Carne.
Not with the mi amo part, but other than that.
What did I say?
Oh no, you did say my name is. It's
okay, good.
Yeah, no, but
because I can mess that up.
No, be Carne, like, that's good.
Yeah.
I get names like Chernda because the M separated.
Oh, and you could be right. The M, you have the opposite.
Chamada,
Chamida,
Chemda, Chemdog.
Chemdog. Oh, that's like a little dog in a laboratory.
Linda a couple times. Yes.
Linda.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, I put this stuff, by the way, on the vlog, the birthday thing and the stuff I just said about my name also, because it's just so a part of our lives right now. But anyway, your birthday was fantastic. Our gift was ridiculous. We just went to this ridiculous expo and we got a goodie bag and we gave it to you. We drank the champagne all together.
Oof.
And I feel, you saw how little we drank because it was a mini bottle.
Yeah.
I got a little sick off that.
It was really gross.
Sick, but I was like,
it's not your fault. And it didn't even do what I wanted the champagne bottle to do, which was to have the satisfying pop. And then we finally like took off the foil and it was a twisty. And I was like, well, at least it's champagne. And then it was just liquid garbage.
It foiled us.
Yeah.
It was a foil.
That's okay.
There's something in
but
that.
At least at least, you know what? We drank it that night and I didn't keep it for 3 years and open it on a special occasion to be disappointed. We got to all like end the night with like liquid garbage and then we all went home. It like ruined the party, basically.
Thank you. I'm glad I was there.
No, it was good. It was good. It's a good way to get people to go home, you know?
Well, happy Carrie Day, everyone.
Thank you.
These catalogs, I do think, okay, so just to get back for this topic for just a minute, my brother has done that with you know how like everybody for a moment was asking you for the email, like Best Buy, like any checkout, any register you reached, or anybody who got your email put you on a list.
Oh, still,
my brother would put the name of the place he was so he'd be like Best Buy, and he would add it to the email that he gave so that he could see how many people, just like Lorelai did. Do you want to hear the list of Lorelai names that she put?
Sure.
She was getting as catalogs. Lorelai Gilmore, Rory Gilmore, Lorelai Rory Gilmore, Lorelai V Gilmore, Lorelai Victoria Gilmore, Lorelai Gilmore, Lorelai Gil, Squeegee Beckenheim, and Tukey Clothespin when she forgot Squeaky Beckenheim.
Nice.
Yeah. Now also, I relate to Lorelai's energy. It's not necessarily something I care to admit at this age, but like I relate to it. Like, let's do this. We're getting it done, even though I always drop it. Is this drugs, manic depression, ADD? I'm trying to diagnose myself here. What is this?
It's just ADD, and it's just like a task. It's a task that's annoying and boring. I think that's human nature.
Okay,
I think you're just a human. I think you're a human person with possibly a touch of ADD, but not so much that you couldn't do it if you had to. You know?
It's way more manageable now, like after I pay attention, but I had to pay attention and like, but she's just like, I got this. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
That's the cold open.
Yeah, that was and then the credits start. And I'm like, what the hell? Okay, but this episode's not about catalogs. Don't get it twisted, idiots. It's not. This won't come up again. Again, this is the cold open. It's while you're getting your remote control. You could skip the first 5 minutes. It's fine. The show opens. Again, I'm hiding the bottom third to not see if there is a special guest. I didn't know if John Hamm would be back this episode, so I'm avoiding looking at the credits. We open the actual show at a town meeting, which is always hysterical. And we are arguing for bird spikes so that pigeons can't land.
I mean, that's all over the city here.
Yeah.
It's not spiking them. I didn't even think that would be what the town would come up with. Like, don't kill the birds. Or are they spiking them and I don't know?
The spikes don't kill them. They have them on like subway platforms and stuff. The birds just don't land there. It's not like they get speared like shish kebabs. That's not how that works.
But that's how the town was reacting.
Right.
Like, I'd rather have poop on my head than a bird's
kill
blood.
the birds. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever. But we find out that Miss Patty is dating a guy with no social graces. This dude just walks in the door and he's like, "We going?" And she's like, "No, Jesus, not yet." And then everybody can be up in Patty's business about her date.
She's up in everybody else's business. So.
Oh, I know. But
and she's totally comfortable with it.
Yeah. Maybe she told him to interrupt the meeting. She was like, "You know what'll be funny? Interrupt the meeting with a bouquet of flowers for me."
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's Babette's like, "Who's the fox?" And hands her a camera.
Hands her a camera?
Pictures. Yes, I thought you might have missed it.
I did miss that. I was writing, maybe. Did I?
This might be the first time I ever saw it.
Wow.
Hands her a camera because they are the harassers of town.
Yeah. Everybody's in each other's business. It's amazing.
It's weird.
Okay.
Their level is like now would be canceled. Their level of everything.
Right. Well, they needed, you could tell why we had to invent the internet. Like, we needed something else to do than just stare at each other all day. Like, we were staring at each other all day, determining who was dating who, and then the internet saved us from this fate. Where
now we could stare at people's videos.
Right. You know, or we could go down a rabbit hole of learning something, or we could watch porn, or we could do our banking, or we could unsubscribe from catalogs. Like, we needed the internet so that we didn't have to take photos of somebody else's date. So weird.
Never heard it put that way. That's...
Yeah. You're welcome, kids.
That's what the internet is.
It just prevents us from being bored enough to care about each other. Which is the worst thing you can do, is care about other people.
I wonder how small towns have changed, though, you know, because small towns, that's what you know. And in order to see anything different, you're either watching TV or you have to really travel outside of what you know. But now there's the internet. So I wonder if small towns are still talking to each other at the cafe, or is everybody on their phone there as well? I'm
sure it's both.
Chime in.
I'm sure it's both. I think old men do still sit around cafes and diners and chat. I've seen that recently. Like, that's just what old men do. And like, that's fine. Got to be socializing.
But they might be the last generation.
They might be the last ones sitting there all day at the diner. You know, we'll see. Yeah. We shall see. But basically, this scene is just to find out that Jess has a new car. And
yes, and that Luke didn't know it.
Yep.
So
and they wonder where he got the money for it.
Yeah, so there's so much emphasis on money that it bothers me, because I'm like, if you're giving me the money is different on TV, then make it add up at least in your world. Because in your world, Luke has $100,000 to put down, and he doesn't say things like, I can barely afford a car. The money I get working at the diner. That's from Luke.
And Lorelai's still paying off a loan to fix the termites or whatever, or the sinking house.
And he offered her what, like $15,000 that episode? Like it's nothing. Don't even worry about paying me back. Take your time. Things like that. When he needed more space, he bought not just an apartment with a business underneath it. Yeah. So, all right, Jet. Also, back then, a car, you could buy that clunky piece of garbage for the amount that Jess makes.
We don't know
Cleaning
what
gutters.
Jess makes. What if Jess makes $1 a day? We don't know.
Then Luke needs to be looked into then. That's
I know.
inappropriate. But he says, I clean gutters and I work at Luke's. And then the Walmart thing, it's funny that the 12 hours a week on Walmart is the thing that pushes it over the top.
I know.
Oh, now I believe you. It's just weird math and it's uncomfortable, but then you get over
12
it.
hours at 12 hours at Walmart in the early 2000s could not a car afford either.
Yeah, that might be $50 you're taking home. No joke. Yeah. Although, like, my first car was like $4,000, and it only had like about 4,000 miles on it.
Where'd you get the money for it? Did you
I
clean
mugged
gutters?
an old lady. Yeah. Kids parties, folks.
See that?
Good job. I love it. So the whole thing, and then Luke is with Jess, and he did you mug an old lady, or I don't know, did you think about insurance, gas, repairs? That's normal. And then he signs the registration.
Oh yeah, I wrote Luke signs the registration for car. That's a bad idea. He signs it like on the spot, like he doesn't look. He doesn't read it.
Right.
He'd be like, "You're taking responsibility for paying this car note. Sign here," and he just signs it. I don't know.
But he, does he own the car, or is he like who signs? You can't have a car under your name if you're 17.
If you're a minor. Yeah, I don't know how it works, but I think it's funny that Luke had all these like logistical questions about car ownership and then gets handed a random piece of paper and he's like, "Sure, I'll sign it." I'm like, Luke didn't have any follow-up questions.
It had someone else's name crossed out.
Yeah.
And he's signing it.
Yeah.
And then he goes, "What about, oh no, he already left. I can't get into these teenagers."
Yeah.
Oh, okay, maybe just talk.
I mean, somebody listening knows how that all works. I don't. I know that when you give the title to someone, you can cross it out and put a name. But I think registration has to be like with some sort of government agency, no?
Yeah, like at the DMV.
I don't know. Remember. And I also don't care because it doesn't matter. The point is,
no, it doesn't. Yeah.
Jess has a new car, and everyone's
Luke doesn't know how to talk to anybody.
Right, and Luke is a deranged adult who like can't. Yeah. Then the next thing I wrote down was Sherry's having a baby shower.
Yeah. First of all, I like the line. I can go from 0 to studying in less than 60 seconds. That was nice. Cute.
What a nerd. I love it. And then she confesses that she's been talking to Christopher again, and she knows that that's going to make Lorelai feel weird. So she starts apologizing, and Lorelai is like, "No, don't apologize. It's your dad. You can obviously stay in touch with your dad," which is a very reasonable thing to say. Would you have gone?
What a shame, though.
I know.
What a shame that like you can't tell your best friend. Because of how
mom.
Because of how it will affect the mom version of your best friend. About your dad.
Yeah.
So
would you have gone to Sherry's baby shower if you were Rory?
I think knowing who I was, yeah. But I was taught to be so polite. I'm not even sure where my boundaries were. So if there was a boundary, I wouldn't know that it existed. So I might ask my mother. And if my mother said, no, like it's good, it's your half sister, that would have given me enough reason to be like, okay, that makes sense. But I was also more comfortable. No, that was an uncomfortable party. I'm the only kid. These are adults. One is pregnant with my dad's baby. That's a lot. Would you have gone?
Yes, probably. But I would have been really weirded out by the invitation.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like what part would weird you out?
I would feel like I was betraying my mom, and I would be like, well, let me go as a spy and I'll report back to you everything that happens. and then try to like tell my mom later and like make fun of it or something.
Okay. And now looking back at that, what would you have wanted to do?
I don't know. I wouldn't have wanted to go find a gift and like get like take up a whole Saturday when I'd probably rather be doing something else. But I hadn't been to a lot of baby showers when I was Rory's age because it just didn't come up yet. So like I would have been curious about what a baby shower is like.
But this is your father's kid. But
yeah,
your father won't be there.
And what? And your dad won't be there?
Your father won't be there, so it's not like that's the comfort level, but it's the family.
Right.
You are family now with this person?
I'm family with the baby.
There's a family member inside of her.
Right. Right.
That you are being asked to acknowledge.
Yeah. I probably would have gone, but I would have gone with like a lot of stink face. How about that?
But why stink face? She didn't do it. Sherry didn't do anything.
I know.
And I think we learned from this episode that Chris is not telling Sherry half the story.
Yeah.
He doesn't tell her anything. I wonder if she even knows that he wasn't around for Lorelai when she was first pregnant. I can't tell. And I really want to get into that later. But I didn't think like, would I go? I just thought, as a kid, it's my obligation to go. But that's a really good question. Yeah.
I think Sherry laid it on a little thick this episode on more than one occasion. And I felt like she was being over the top.
I have a lot of feelings about it, but I really want to like actually get there and like get into those waters. But what did you think of what answer would freak you out least? Lorelai asks if Christopher asks about her. I just want to hide under my desk when I hear things like that.
Don't ask. Which answer would freak you out least? Would be like, yes, of course he asks about you. Blah, blah, blah.
Which, if a kid tells you what answer would freak you out least, don't you step back and go, ooh, that's an inappropriate question.
Yeah, my kid is moderating my feelings. I mean, my parents were divorced, 40 years, and they'd still ask about the other one. It's fine.
In that way?
No, how's your mother? How's your father?
That's different. That's different than do they ask
Is your father still in love with me? Yes, dad still likes you.
Yeah, okay.
All right, I hear it now. Yeah, that's weird.
Okay.
You're right.
Okay.
They were just asking to be nice because it's a person we have in common. Yeah. Oh my God, Mom, Dad still likes you.
And then we get a scene of fun characters, starting with Kirk. The first time I saw it, first I want to hear your response because you've never seen this. When Kirk talks gibberish about a car,
yes,
what did you hear before he revealed it was gibberish?
I heard it was gibberish about a car because it's Kirk speaking, and I don't really speak car. He sounded like I would sound when I'm making fun of a car part or a bike part that I don't know. And you just throw in a bunch of words and a bunch of measurements and numbers. So you're like, oh, I need a 4mm cylinder to get through the pop zone of the triangulation modular 4.9.
Yes, you do that.
And that's how Kirk sounded to me. And I was like, that's either gibberish or like, I have no idea what he's, I assumed it was gibberish. But
see, I'm impressed and I look up to you in that regard because I was like, Kirk knows about cars? But then I thought, without knowing what autism was, I was like, maybe that's his autism. I'm like, oh, maybe we revealed what he actually like knows too much about, know? And then he revealed that and I'm like, no, I'm just an idiot. I'm just an idiot who knows less about cars than Kirk.
I mean, do you have to make up car? Like, do you, like when you see a car and someone was like, tell me about this car, would you make up stuff that sounded like that?
Oh no, I'd be like, it's red. Maybe. I don't know.
No,
I forgot.
You just have to, you just throw in the word cylinder and people are like, oh, she knows what she's talking about. You'd be like, oh, it's a converted cylinder. I love that old car with the converted cylinder, 3.9.
I know from Pretty Woman that I can say things like, it turns like it's on rails.
Yes, it turns like it's on rails. Or like it had really narrow foot pads so that women could drive it. Narrow pedals. Or like this engine was made of titanium luxcitude.
What about pistons? Is pistons a thing?
Yeah, piston's a good one. You got to say piston.
Yeah.
It's fun to say.
Yeah.
I need a 5-piston cylinder marble. That's the kind of car I want. Carburetor, engine.
I hope I'd be able to tell that you were just saying
engine
things.
top. I mean, mechanics, right in. Do I not sound like I know what I'm talking about?
Oh, you're asking mechanics or just like...
I want actual mechanics to be like,
okay.
I need a 4.4 millimeter piston cylinder. Stat.
Thumbs up or thumbs down? He's just shaking his head at you.
No, that sounded right. I just built a car by mistake with my gibberish. That car exists.
The AI is listening.
The AI listened and made a car based on the specs that I just named. Tell me I'm wrong. Somebody build the car I just made up.
Dean, are you listening?
Dean, build my car.
Kirk also says, I wish my mom would let me have a car or a bike or my roller skates back.
Yes, Kirk, we get it.
Okay. So that was, Kirk's
Remember
moment.
When Kirk tried to date Lorelai? That we dropped that. He's fine. He bounced right back.
To drop that. Yeah. I don't know why that happened. I don't know who wrote that episode. I mean,
I don't know why that happened, but no, I remember.
Never forget. But then there's Gypsy. I think people have a problem with the Gypsy name.
Yes, we don't say the word Gypsy anymore.
No, we don't.
It's that's her name. So what are we gonna do?
G-Unit, we can call her.
We call her G-Unit, and she's ragging on Jackson for how busted his car is, and then bragging about how much money she's gonna make from his busted car.
I know, and it's also so funny. Have you ever been to a mechanic who goes through your car and tells you what's wrong at the same time? My experience with mechanics is I'll call you and let you know how awful it'll be. Right. And then whatever they say, it's like, yeah, I mean, what am I watching you check it? And then she just looks under the hood and goes, oh, I'm going to Florida.
Yeah. No, I know.
But, this just like the Kirk thing, this is just these jokey, small towny.
Yep.
G-Unit type, but she does have
they used to date or something, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna razz him now because he dumped me hard. But
she only speaks in razzing. She only speaks in like the side of her face, But she has some of my favorite quotes of Gilmore Girls. Mr. Grind It Till You Find It. I love that one. And I love this one. Guys are stupid. You strip your gears, you ride your brakes, and if we don't laugh after we make a joke, you think we're serious.
Nice. Yes.
That was not nice. I flubbed the whole... G-Unit, I'm so sorry.
G-Unit's great.
Yeah. And Luke's questioning, did he have a mask or did a gun fall out?
Yeah, I know. And she's like, there was a sack. It was a sack with a $sign on it. And he goes, really? And she's like, no, you idiot. Like, no.
So you're joking, but I'm serious?
Right. And
you laid it
like,
up.
I don't ask questions. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing. She says, when people come in with cash, I don't ask where it comes from. Do you?
Right. And he's like, no, I guess not.
Yeah. I think we just needed a couple of gypsy jokes.
Yeah.
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 But okay. And we got all the characters. We got the rabbi and the priest.
Had we met the rabbi and the priest earlier? They were connected at the arm. They were sitting so close together. It upset me.
I don't know if you caught it. They share a worship place. So on Saturday, it's a
one
temple.
place. Okay. I missed that it was the same address. Okay.
Yeah, I really like, in general, the vibe of how religion is looked at in this show. Like, they're not they're not dismissing religion here, but they're also like not going, hey, this is. I like that they made fun of Taylor for talking to God, even though like you're a rabbi and a priest, don't you? Don't you talk to God?
Yeah.
No. So
I don't know.
Okay. Isn't that the job? They don't talk. No, I'm getting head shaking also, but something.
I mean, you can be ordained online. So the rules are a little fuzzy on what that means. Just saying.
Okay, fair. I am ordained.
See? And do you talk to God?
God tells me that what is this protest information? I want your response on the protest things in this
I didn't know what
episode.
I was like, we don't know. I wrote back, what is backpack guy protesting at a church? I wrote down that we didn't get the rabbi's name, but the Reverend is Reverend Skinner, which I like because I feel like that's got to be a Simpsons reference to Principal Skinner. And then they were sitting so close together. I like that one had the collar and one had the yarmulke. Like we're not mixing up who is who in this scenario, and that they are a united front. I mean, I wish the world could be like this, where two religious leaders are just ganging up on one guy. No, I didn't like that part. But the everybody getting along part was hysterical. You tell my bubbies they can't play bingo. It's, it was that looks like it was fun to write. You know what I mean? Like their little back and forth.
And I thought the actors were perfect. Like, not too much leaning on the boobies and like we get it. Like you said, we get it.
Yes.
You don't have
There's
to
no ambiguity about right.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to be completely like this, like I'm a rabbi from the old country.
Right. And
we get it.
I know a couple of priests and they don't talk about God 24/7. They have totally normal conversations about everyday things too. They're just like us. They're people. So like priests can enjoy food and coffee and they put their pants on one godly leg at a time. So I don't know. It's just funny. Like they did a good job of like having them be like the other snarky townspeople. These are just more snarky townspeople.
Yeah. And they delivered like this could have been really, really corny. And it was, but like it could have been corny and not enjoyable. But I thought the two actors were perfect. And Taylor plays Taylor. Like could
Taylor
anyone
has
else
not grown or done anything? Yeah. Taylor needs to discover drumming or whatever.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
He's the one that keeps the small town a small town.
Yeah, he needs Reddit so that he can sit at home all day and not bother everybody.
Be the energy vampire that you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Luke goes upstairs and starts going through Jess's things.
Ooh,
I thought he was going to find something.
Me too.
He doesn't find anything though, right? The phone rings.
The phone rings and it's Randy. And he goes, somebody's got to take care of it. And I'm like, what? That never gets brought up.
Another murder.
What?
Another body. Also,
why are you looking at someone's clothes so poorly?
Yeah.
Do it or don't. Like,
yeah, you've never snooped before. You have to put everything back the way it was, you idiot.
What are you moving?
Yeah. Snooping on TV is always terrible.
Right.
Because they're just like flinging things. I'm like, well, she's going to know you were there. Like, ugh.
And also, I don't, like, where do you land on giving your kids privacy?
I think that your kids should have mostly privacy, unless there is an extraordinarily good reason to invade it. I think you should default to privacy.
I think that's fair. I think it's sort of the same as relationships. I think it's all private, but I checked my ex's phone, but I was right. I've never been wrong.
Right.
So,
well, I mean, there's the argument that by the time you're checking someone's phone, the relationship is already done.
I think it depends on who you are. I think there's some people who are just suspecting everybody who can't not know which is unnerving because who is this stranger essentially?
Yeah.
But so I think you're either the kind of controlling person or you're like, I don't know how much evidence I need, in like the air. I need like hard evidence so that I don't think I'm just leaving a situation that I'm making up in my head.
Yeah.
And
no,
boy,
I know.
was I right.
I know. I mean, you had a good reason, and you were confirming a suspicion you already had. You weren't looking
Right.
for new information. But
yeah.
I mean, as a general rule, I've kept a journal since I was 12. So
Right.
I do not open other people's journals. That is sacred information. One time I was with a bunch of comedians and they found a comedian who wasn't there. They found the notebook. And I would be like, just open it enough to find out whose it is and then close it. But they started reading jokes. And I was like,
cool.
that's not cool. That's too far. Like if someone found my joke notebook,
I would rather you open the door while I'm in the bathroom.
Oh.
That is so, it's so private and so not for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
and it's
even
not going to
though
make
it's
any
on paper,
sense.
That's not.
Right.
Yeah, that's not.
But this person had written things like, they were going through like a divorce or like something emotional, and they're trying to like work it out in the notebook. It doesn't, and they were making fun of it, and I was like, oh no, that's bad. And I kept saying it. I was like, I don't want to be the wet blanket, but like you guys, that is wrong behavior.
That is wrong.
It, and you know it.
Especially reading it like that. Because on top of it not being private, it's now like in some circle and it's being made fun of. Like, I don't know.
I left a joke notebook one time in a theater and they returned it to me because I called up frantic. I knew exactly where I left it. And I called up and talked to the theater manager and I was like, I will reimburse you, but I need that notebook like today. And that's the right thing. Everyone did the right thing. They were like, hold on a second, put the phone down, went and found it. I have it here. And I didn't have to say, don't open it.
You can't say don't open it.
Right. I was like, can you just please return? So if they opened it and they found my terrible jokes that, whatever.
I mean, you can't control it, but you also, if you say don't open it, what does that do? The person's either going to open it or not open it. No.
I'd be like, my secret murder plans are in there. No, I just be like, it's not going to be interesting to anyone else. Like, I think the joke notebook will be boring. It's a lot of like set lists and then arrows, like moving jokes around. It's not exciting.
It's not, and that's why it's not for someone else. It's not meant to be read properly. Right. And a diary, if I would have found a diary, I needed to go through things like emails and phones. If I went through your diary, you could be saying all kinds of I don't know what your diary is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that wouldn't be evidence necessarily for me.
No.
But the phone back and forth and the emails, oh boy, was that evidence. Oh my goodness.
My God.
Beyond
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry.
Stinks.
I'm sorry. Me who made that decision. Like, wow, I didn't even know this level can exist in a regular world like mine. Like, oh my goodness. Oh my God. It makes, So, wow, how did we get on that? Oh, yeah. Well, so Luke is going through his stuff.
But he's going through it in the stupidest way. He's like looking at his undies. Like, what?
Yeah. What are you looking? What is there to look for?
But I thought he was going to find. I thought he was going to find the smoking gun of whatever the sneaky thing was that Jess was doing.
I think. Well, I guess when we think about it, we're all expecting drugs, right? Like you're selling drugs. What else what are you looking for that makes money?
I mean, the blue vest from Walmart.
I guess.
With the little like pin on it that has your name.
He somehow hid that.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
He also hid that. Oh, I guess Luke never knows where he is, but he somehow made it to Walmart without a car.
Yeah, he was able to
with
get
the bus
to
system.
Walmart.
Then this is all. Jess is the only good person in this episode.
I know.
He's the only one showcasing like responsibility and
Yep. He doesn't end up vandalizing someone's personal property by the end of the episode.
Yeah. So okay. So and Lane is incensed. I've never seen this version of Lane. Your thoughts on this?
Lane is feisty. Lane taking up the Lane taking up the drums has released the feisty in her. Because now she's in a punk band, so she ain't taking she had green hair for 5 seconds. Purple hair. She had purple hair for 5 seconds. So now she knows everything. She confronts Jess directly, which must have been hysterical for him. He was like, "Who are you again? You're like Rory's friend." Like they don't hang out.
Except that he asked her for a pen. So we know that like they have had class together and she doesn't like him, and he's fine with interrupting her in the middle of class when she takes school seriously. Not just class, but a test. So we know they know each other. And Lane is being very upfront about why she's upset. She's upset like on behalf of Rory.
Uh-huh.
Now, thoughts on that?
I don't know. That was a very awkward interaction. It was just awkward that she confronts him and he's like, "All right, I'll go." And she's like, "Go." And then it's like, who should go? Because you confronted me. And they're like, "All right, just leave." And like Rory has these complicated feelings for Jess, and Jess like obviously likes her. I don't know. I wish Lane hadn't. I felt like Lane shouldn't have said anything, but she's being a protective friend. She's being a good friend.
Yeah, at that age, that kind of protection happens. I think we need to obviously grow out of that because it's like uncomfortable and unnecessary, and it doesn't do anything, and it's embarrassing to Rory. But Rory is clearly feeling it. So Lane is like, "Wait, why are you being not truthful here? You're you around me all the time. Who is this right now? Like, wait, why aren't you? Because she's not sharing. I like this guy." And I believe it was Mayhem on our YouTube comments who said, "I know you think like you keep saying these are kids and that Rory's a kid and she has complicated feelings for Jess that even she doesn't know. But how long before we say, okay, now you should know?" And then I thought about it, and she did kiss him. And she did try to write him the whole summer. And so I think they're right. How long do we say, "Hey, this is too complicated for you to," before
she visited him in New York. Like,
yes.
And missed her mom's graduation for, I don't know, like she knows she likes him. I don't know why she's not sharing that with Lane. I think it's because he has a bad reputation. And it's like, I don't know.
I think she doesn't want to like him, and that's why she's not sharing it. And I get that. It doesn't seem like a good idea. You know, you get that sense of like, this probably isn't a good idea. But
she's bearing the burden of this alone because she can't tell her mom. She can't tell Lane.
Yeah, but that's in her head, right? Like, you should be able to tell Lane. This is what eventually.
Yes, I have confessed to girlfriends that I like a guy I know I shouldn't.
Yeah, I think it takes a while sometimes, and you need to find like the right person. It's very vulnerable. So you know how your mom's going to react. You know Lane doesn't like him. So the only person you talk about him with is Luke. He's the only person who's not going, "Really, Jess?"
Yeah, I know.
Do you really want to tell someone when they go, "Really, him?"
Oh, no, not him.
Right?
Yeah, so didn't he break your wrist? Yeah, I know.
While in front of Lane, she says to Jess, "Just shut up and go. And by the way, you left your bra in your back seat." So if I'm Lane, I'm going, "You don't like this guy, but also, what's this? What's this? I don't recognize you. What's going on? You're not telling me something."
Right. Yes. Yeah. You're being cagey somehow.
Yeah.
I just like that Jess is wearing bras now.
I like Jess's response to that because I like the actor, how he dealt with it. It wasn't like, "Shut up." It was like, "Is it? Oh, it is. God damn it."
But he
like
looked,
all
he
in
looked
his
in
face.
the back nonchalantly. I know.
It is there.
Oh,
God.
man.
Oh, that could have went better. All in a moment. Very, very nice. But we are about to get into Sherry's party. Oh my goodness. This has so many sections and notes that for the first time in our sectioned out thing that I make the notes, this has subsections. Okay?
Yeah, you have subsections in here. This is a very long section.
Yeah,
you are planning a baby shower. That's what this looks like. You have modeled a baby shower.
I can't wait. I can't wait because I have so many questions for you, and for the listeners. But first, I want to thank our good friend, Missy. Oh, hello, Missy. Good friend Missy is a new Patreon member. Welcome. And by the way, with Missy's membership, our new good friend, she gets early access to ad-free episodes, 20% off Gilmore Friends merch, access to exclusive pre and post show material. You know, when sometimes we forget that we're being recorded, but it's totally cool because we're good friends now. And Missy, your name will be in the credits of this episode of Gilmore Friends. So shout out to
And
those
good
who
friend
are
is a level, by the way, that you can subscribe to.
in my heart.
In our hearts, but
In
yes,
my
that's
heart.
why we keep saying the term good friend, because that's
Yes.
the level at which Missy joined. Thank you so much. And let us know if there's stuff you want to see in the Patreon that we haven't addressed.
Yeah,
we're
thanks
always,
to all our Patreon members.
yeah, we're up for suggestions, but now it's just us rambling for the show.
Find Gilmore Friends on Patreon. Go to gilmorefriends.com for the info. And yeah, we get comments on our ramblings because
that I'm not allowed to see.
It's a special tea party.
What if the ramblings
fun.
have spoilers in it? You have to tell me what people are saying and then just delete the spoilers.
Yeah, I'm telling you during the live shows.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Sherry's party. Party.
Okay.
All right.
Sherry's a little over the top. Now, Rory is being dropped off by Lorelai. Sherry meets her at the Jeep window and will not take no for an answer for Lorelai saying, I'm not coming in, and will not let up. How badly do you need to convince somebody to come to your party? Do you want people at your party who don't want to be there?
No, but so yes, this is Sherry's mistake. If you didn't invite Lorelai, do not invite her the day of. That's beyond, because it's like, oh, I know you weren't invited, but my friends, anyway, you should come. I get that. However, it is part of the society that this woman exists in, that if this person is in front of you and there is plenty of food and drinks, you treat them with hospitality and you invite them in. Now, I don't know because Sherry keeps making these kinds of decisions where it's like socially normal to be insistent. No, you got to come in. We got to make nice. We have to get along. We have family. And like, this is a thing that has to happen in polite society. And if we want to continue, which we do, because I literally have a family member of your child in me, we have to be nice. So does polite society say that Sherry's right?
What happened to Sherry's "we don't have to be friends" speech?
You're right. How did I forget that?
Sherry was like, we don't have to be friends. And Lorelai was like, okay. So why is she now demanding that she come to a party that she doesn't want to go to? I get the like invite the person, you have plenty of food and drink and it's polite. And it's like the Irish thing where you have to ask 3 times for someone to take tea. Like this whole like, we got to haggle
too. Yeah.
with this like haggle culture thing of like, you know, but she asked her, she didn't just decline. She like dragged her into this party. I don't want people at a party who don't want to be there. That's rude.
Yeah.
Now you've crossed over like oh, we have plenty of food and drinks. Why don't you come up? No, thanks. I had other plans. Are you sure? Because we have plenty. It's no bother. No, really, I have other plans. Okay, bye.
Yeah, because she got to like, well, I'm going to stand here with my pregnant self and not let you leave.
Yeah. No.
Now, this is what I was taught to do, to make sure that people go and feel invited and whatever. It didn't occur to me until later in life that sometimes people don't want to be invited. Your thing is not the thing that they want to do. Oh my goodness. Then a bunch of shame washed over me. How many times I insisted someone do the thing that I thought people just wanted to like, feel more welcome, because I was taught that don't say yes unless they ask you like 3 times and ask them 3 times.
I mean, I've been on both sides of it where like, I would be at a friend's house and the mom would offer me something and I'd say no to be polite because I didn't want to be any trouble. But then the no sounded like a slap in the face to her because, she was trying to be hospitable and I was rejecting it. So that's rude. And one time I was dating a guy, we went to his grandmother's house and I couldn't think of what to say. So I complimented her teacups. which I thought was a nice thing to do. I was like
nice.
a teenager and I was like, oh, these are lovely teacups. Then she wanted to give them to me.
Oh Lord, my mother has done stuff like that.
And I was like, oh, I don't know. Thank you. I don't need your teacups. And then she got mad at me because I wouldn't take the teacups. Like, okay, I didn't know what the right thing to do. I got home and I explained the whole situation to my mother. And I was like, what was the right thing to do? I didn't know. Like, I wanted her to be happy. like trying to be a good guest. Like,
yes. So this is where I think like the universal, what maybe let's call it America thought was universal politeness was when everybody had roles and you asked 3 times and then you did it then. And then I think once those roles started breaking, we're like, well, what's polite and what do we want? And like, what's coercion and what's like a warmer welcome? And we're just like, we're just trying to be good people. You told us.
Yeah, we're all just trying to like get along and not right. But again, Lorelai has issues with boundaries, and she couldn't say, "Sherry, back the F up away from my car. I am going to buy some shoes now, and I am not coming to your party."
I can't say that I would have the guts, the boundaries, or the whatever to sit. The only difference that I see between me and Lorelai and trying to just not say back up in front of my daughter so that things could just remain nice is that you have a daughter and you've had like 17 years to be more of an adult than I needed to be. So I think you needed to get there faster, Lorelai. That's the only pass I can give myself because I know that I would be like, oh, all right, like, what am I going to do? Argue now with you? And yes, the answer is yes. I should argue now with you and just be like,
no, the answer is not arguing. The answer is just no.
Right.
I mean, that's it. I'm not arguing. The answer is no.
No is a complete sentence.
I don't need to explain myself. I don't need to tell you why.
Yes.
I mean,
I'm just saying that was hard for me.
And like, we talk about this a lot. Like, I have to relearn this a lot too, that like, no is a complete sentence. Like, do you want to come to this thing? No.
Yeah.
And like, that's okay. I don't need to give you an excuse. I don't need to tell you what else I'm doing. I don't need to, thank you for the invite. I can't make it. That's it. That's it. Oh, but I have so much food. I said no. Like, now you're making it weird.
Yeah.
It's not a negotiation. Like, I don't care how much food you have. I'm not coming.
Yeah.
I mean, easier said than done. Like, I mean, I say that now, but like easier said than done. I totally get it. But like, there is a way to just be like, no.
I mean, I was basically going to say the same thing as easier said than done. Like, I want to be 100% like that. Am I 100% like that? No, but I'm better.
I am better. So, yes. And like that, like as people pleasers and as like women, like it's just easier to just be like, oh, I don't need to say like, if someone invites you to a thing and you don't want to go, just thank them for inviting you and say you can't make it. You don't need to do anything else.
Yeah. And I'm fine with that when I'm throwing a party. So it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's the everything's green. What happened to pink? And I think this is why people want to get rid of pink is for girls and blue is for boys and this is girls and this is boys. So that you and I don't have to keep saying like, that's what it was like to be a woman, like, no, it doesn't have to be what it's like to be a woman, but they ruined it. I thought they were being like, gender open, right? But they ruined it when they said like green is the new pink. Oh, you're just deciding now this is the girl thing.
I have been to a baby shower where they didn't know the gender and everything is green and yellow.
Which is fine.
Everything has to not be pink and blue. So you're
actually, that's not fine. Yeah.
Everything is stupid. Like, everyone can like every color, you guys. Right? And like the gendering of color is like an insane, just a balls out insane thing to do. So
it's also so upsetting for a child. Like, I know, like I right now have only nephews, right? They all identify as nephews. As soon as they tell me otherwise, I will start referring them to something different. But they had trouble, like my brothers and the mothers had trouble with these people want a rainbow. My nephew's like rainbow for a while, and they only make that in the girls section. And the girls section has a different sleeve for some reason, even though boys and girls' bodies are the same.
Yeah.
So they just, it's weird. And then if they want to wear something outside of the norm, still, I don't think we're past a certain place where my brothers or the mothers have to say like, Yes, you can. Here's what you might expect. We're not beyond that yet. We're not beyond like,
yeah,
okay, but I might have to prepare you for something. I think it's fine, but like,
right. I mean, my friend has 3 kids, and for a while, one of her sons, when he was 3, he wanted to wear nothing but dresses.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, he's 3. Like, let him wear what he wants. Like, we're not having a debate when this child is 3. And then he turned 4 and he decided he didn't want to wear dresses anymore. Everyone got over it. Like,
I might have gone through the same thing.
No lasting damage for this child because and I think it was the Elsa phase of the world when, like, I think.
Yes, it was a lot of the Elsa phase. They wanted
Frozen
to wear
had
Elsa.
just come out and he wanted to dress. And, like, nobody said boys can't do that. Like, they're just like, just let him wear what he wants. He's practically a baby. What is the difference? And, like, the world got on board. The child is fine. I mean, we'll see.
It's way more on board now. But like, we have video of my nephews, a couple of them dancing in like an Elsa nightie that was meant for they are having a ball.
You shouldn't have made Elsa so appealing. If you didn't want every child to want to be Elsa, boy or girl, any child wants to be Elsa. I'm sorry.
They tapped into something.
You did that.
And it's beautiful. I mean, what they tapped into with that movie was beautiful. I saw it. I was sobbing. I was like, oh my goodness, this is so much better.
I had never seen a movie like that.
Oh, beautiful. The fact that these kids are into Elsa. It was the first one.
The first one of the new era of like.
It was a relief. When she sang Let It Go, and I had already heard that song ad nauseum by the time I heard it, and then I heard it in context, and I was like, I thought it was something else. Oh my God, let it go. I was losing my mind. It was so good. Okay. So, that's my review
little boys, you can dress like Elsa. It's fine. She has broad appeal.
So cute.
Just do it. It's fine. Yeah. Let it go.
All right. Yeah, yes. Yes.
So back to having the green themed baby shower. I've never had a baby shower for myself, so like maybe I will want a color theme of a baby shower. I don't see that happening, but
I put on a baby shower for one of my brother's babies. I can't say it's for the mom. Like everyone came.
Was it a blue?
There were
theme?
No colors. There was no colors.
You
don't need colors. It's we decorated it more with like pictures
gray.
Of them, of their relationship, and of what did you say?
Gray, just a gray.
Oh yeah, just
baby shower,
New York themed.
Yeah. It's like on The Office. It is your birthday with single gray balloon hanging.
Oh, I didn't see. I didn't see The Office. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah, not in its entirety. I saw enough of it, a lot of it. Let's call, but like not every reference. Yeah,
gotcha.
Sorry.
Well, Dwight throws a very pathetic birthday party. Mm-hmm. And I think it would be funny to throw a very sad baby shower party. It was so weird. My friends had a baby shower and the theme was our next adventure.
Aww.
Which I thought was a great theme. The theme was not like, you are a boy. Like, it was like, we're doing
it's so uncomfortable, the whole boy thing, because it's like,
thing. Yeah.
Penis!
Right. Yes. Here are the genitals of my unborn baby.
Okay, so, then we get into the organization. I must know how you felt about the organization of the house.
I'm with Sherry on this one.
Okay,
sorry.
I thought you might be.
If you got a wall of CDs, you got to be able to find them. I'm sorry.
I thought it looked pretty.
I thought it looked great. And
does rock and roll mean you have to look through your stuff and be a pig?
No. Organize your CDs. If you have that many of them, you need to be able to find them. If you have 5 CDs, they could be whatever. But if you have an entire wall of CDs, you need a way to find what you were looking for.
Also, the way she described what he lived in, rock posters, modular furniture, TV guides 3 months old. Like, okay, TV guides he could have sold them now. But anyway, rock posters.
I mean,
like you're a child, rock posters.
I mean, you eventually you age out of having posters up. at a certain point. Generally, you age out, or you at least put them in frames or something.
I was gonna say, did you have something to do with the tour and like they signed it, or you went? You won something. I don't know. Like it could be like, all right, but rock posters, just like not even with double-sided tape, like just doing that weird. Like not as like an adult or anything.
The fun
just a rock
tack.
poster.
I mean, I had posters up because they travel easier, like I didn't travel with like framed posters, but in college I had posters up.
You were in college. This man has a grown child.
I know. I'm saying you age out of posters. I just feel like I'm going to hurt someone's feelings who's like 45 with posters up.
No, they should know.
And I'm talking to that person. I'd be like, yeah,
we are talking to you.
No, do what you want.
Sure.
Who am I? I don't know. Whatever.
Sure, but
have a pink themed baby shower. I also don't care. Like, it's fine.
Fair enough. Okay.
Like, let's all just relax on the rules of what. It's fine.
Okay,
just
you know what?
You. Don't hurt anybody. You're fine.
I'm going to take it down 1,000 and say, you know what? Leave those posters up.
All of the
poster-having
45-years just logged out, unsubscribed from us. They hate us now.
Fair, and I apologize. Let them know I apologize. What's my problem? That brings you joy. Who am I?
I'm going to bring you a rock poster the next time I see you.
I believe you.
And be like, hang this up. What band would it be? I don't even know.
Ooh,
the Dixie
what
Chicks.
Band would it be? No,
I'm going to bring you a poster of the Dixie Chicks so you could hang that up in your house.
They seem cool, but like, I don't, maybe like Skid Row?
Nope, Dixie Chicks.
Okay.
Where would I even find a poster of the Dixie Chicks?
Not even like, what's their faces, that the Bangles? Because we have this like,
no, I said what I said.
Thing between us. I said what I said. Okay.
When you go to a baby shower, do you like the games? Because I do. I think the baby shower games are fun.
So I had this question for myself the whole time I'm watching, but Lorelai and Rory hate everything that they do. So it's very interesting. They only like going to the diner and the weird movie theater in their town. And a lot of people are depicted like that. The women from Sex and the City, every wedding they went to, they were such jerks about it. They were like, oh my God, this. And I'm like, yes, this is what a wedding is. So games, I like games. I can't imagine me going like, oh my God, we have to play a game. I don't know. I'll feed the baby. Okay. If people are fun, things are fun.
Exactly.
We're having fun. Did we decide to have fun? I'm not a big fan of karaoke. I will have a blast at your karaoke thing.
Yeah, there's mojitos there. Karaoke is fine.
Mojitos of all things, so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they played Feed the Baby.
One time I played the Guess the Baby Food game, and like I nailed it. I was like the best at it, and I was really proud of myself. It's like I peaked. I was like, that's pear. That's totally pear. That's carrot. Totally carrot. Like I just got them all. And then they were like, wow, Carrie, you're the coolest. And I was like, I totally know.
Can I tell you, I'm laughing at you right now, but that would totally be me as well.
Yeah.
I would be telling you right now how much I
wasn't good at the other games. There was a
diaper eating contest.
Or like a change the baby contest. There was a guess the circumference of the pregnant woman contest, which was terrible. There was, a bunch of other games that I did not do well at, but I nailed that tasting game.
I liked Rory doing karaoke. Alexis Bledel nailed it.
Yeah.
Cutest little face.
Yeah. I've also played that game where you get 3 clothespins in the beginning, and then if someone says the word baby, you give them a clothespin. I've done that at a baby shower.
It's almost like I want to hate it, and I'm like, where's this hate coming from? I like to have fun. I think hate comes from the shows that I've watched growing up, because the cool people are like, what's this? I must not be cool because I like you can bring up almost whatever game. Oh, Carrie likes to bring it. We once got together IRL with our poker group, and you brought a game.
What did I bring?
Wasn't it you, or was it boyfriend?
No, it sounds like me.
Yeah. I forget, but I'm like, I never played this before. And I always feel a little anxiety. Like, I never played this before. I'm going to have such a learning curve. Like, is that fun? And it was a blast.
Yeah.
That's
when the game
anxiety.
is simple and it's easy to learn, it's like a bonding activity. When the people are fun, it's fine. And if it's lame, everyone can collectively say this game sucks. Let's do something else.
I've played horrible games where I'm like, what is this game? We end up turning it into the game that we make it.
Yes,
we're just like,
let's make up new rules. We did that with Taboo camping because we were caught in the rain, and I was like, we didn't have the wherewithal to like keep track of anything. So I'm like, I'm just gonna make you say the word at the top of the card, and you were like, okay. That was the game. We played it for like an hour.
I do remember. That was fun.
It was fun.
It was.
I mean, like, we had a low bar for fun being trapped in the rain.
Oh God, that's the worst.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so fun.
But anyway, Sherry lays it on thick. She starts talking about, God, she's too much at this party. I didn't hate her for scheduling a C-section. I think people do that.
Me neither.
I think they do that now more than they did back then.
Yeah.
They did it so much now that we're going back to not doing that. Like we peaked.
Oh, is that true? Really?
Yeah. People are like, why are you scheduling a C-section?
I don't judge any of that. The epidural, like I'm not doing that. I can't believe that women continue to be convinced
however
to do
you
that.
decide to do it is wrong. You're breastfeeding, you have an epidural, you scheduled a C-section, like everything
have all of it. Do you know what's about to happen to this person?
You are being judged for everything.
You get to have everything.
Mm-hmm.
Is there something? Mm-hmm. Listen, when I go to the dentist, even for cleaning, they have to give me nitrous. I pay extra for that. I will put that in my budget over everything. I will not go unless I am now I need a new dentist. I now am calling a bunch of people. Do you have nitrous? No, goodbye. Do you have nitrous? No, goodbye. Done. I can't do. You think I'm going to have a baby?
Mm-hmm.
Scheduled C-section. I mean, it sounds amazing, but you can't even take it back. Like, oh, this sounded amazing. Can I tap out? No.
Right. No.
Oh,
this is a bad idea.
Schedule your C-section. Have your epidural.
Go nuts.
Jello's not going to do it. Ugh. But what did you think? Okay, when I first heard that she named it Gigi.
Oh.
Did you have a little...
no.
No?
Because people name their babies stupid things.
I was not surprised when Lorelai was like, she's copying me. Because when I heard Gigi, I did hear Rory for a second. And I was like, oh, well, that's silly of me to think. But then Lorelai said it, and I was like, whoa, so she thought it too. I'm not saying she's right. I'm just saying like, oh, Gigi, Rory. That's ridiculous.
It's it's a
Lorelai should have said,
name.
oh, that's ridiculous. And I shouldn't.
Name a 2-syllable name, you know?
Carrie.
Chemda.
Oh, yeah, me.
And like
Xerxes.
Right. But like I have a thing in my head where like the name Amy and Kim are the same in my head. Like, you know, like they have a similar, like they're both 3 letters. I don't know why. It's just how my brain is wired. I don't know. I didn't hear Gigi and Rory as being the same. I don't know.
Well, not enough to harass your daughter about when that's her half sibling.
Why is Sherry going on and on about how great Chris is to the ex-girlfriend, mother of his teenage daughter? Why is she doing that?
All I could think of is one of 2 things. One, Chris has not told the absolute truth about what his involvement in Lorelai's life and Rory's life. And we find out, like, he did not tell her that he was sleeping with Lorelai. I think she didn't think they broke up at all, Sherry and Chris. So I think, I can't tell if Sherry is just the collateral damage of how Chris is presenting himself and what he did between these two, or Sherry knows what he's doing. Sherry knows what she's doing, and she's just being overbearing and being like, he's mine. I don't know. When Lorelai says, does she know what she's doing? I just thought maybe this is just a person who's like, well, now we do have to be friends because we are family. And I don't know. You?
I mean, I assume I assume Christopher is lying to her, or at the very least, not telling her the entire truth, and is being a different person, is being the Volvo driving job having dude, and I still can't explain why Sherry is so over the top with how great is Christopher to Lorelai. I don't get it. What is her motivation? She doesn't seem spiteful. She seems oblivious, if anything. And I still don't understand from her perspective, like why you would just go on and on and on about how great he is.
I don't know that I would ever, unless I got, like, you need to bond before you bond over, like, you're with my ex.
Exactly. This is only the second time they've ever hung out. Third time they've ever hung out.
And like you said, the first time she was like, we don't need to do this.
We don't need to be friends. I wrote down, stop talking.
Yes.
You could just say nothing. Thanks for coming. Enjoy the mojitos.
Right. Let me leave you alone about this.
Also, I didn't forget that you didn't want to be here. I made you come to this party. You didn't want to be here, and now I'm going to go on and on about how great your ex is for me? No. Lame. I have met several of my ex's new girlfriends' wives, whatever. They would never do that.
It's not just that. I believe that you take the familiarity that you have with that person with your relationship, you take that out of your mouth when you're with the new person.
Yeah.
Don't act like you know him anymore. That's what, I'm not going to be like, oh, you know how he is. Not really. Like, that's for, I know how he is and I'm not with him. So, like, you're going to get to know how he is. Like, that's all I want to tell you. But don't act like we're there.
Yeah.
Because we are probably not dating the same person.
I found it so weird. And I'm just like, stop. She wouldn't stop talking.
So do you think she's
even for
doing
a
that on
TV
purpose?
scene, it was too long. You know what I mean? Like, even for writing, I was like, why is she still talking? Like, she's got to stop talking.
And it's such a heartbreak because she's like, he's been so involved. He talks to her every night, so protective.
He sings
He would insist
to her.
I lie down. Yeah.
Why is she still talking? Oh my God. I hate her.
The only thing I could think of is that she thinks Lorelai had this shared experience and she's trying to bond through that shared experience.
Well, you got to know someone a lot better.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I would be like, what was your pregnancy like?
Right.
Let's
and
start
she was
there.
like, I was hiding in a shed next to an inn.
Mm-hmm.
I was hiding from my parents in a shed in a different city. Like, what
and
the hell?
Christopher was nowhere to be found.
Mm-hmm.
But some people don't tell their partners that story.
I know.
Yeah. By the way,
even if Sherry thought that was a shared experience, I still think her talking that much about it was over the top.
I think so too, because I think you have to gauge. Like you said, if you're going to insist, then work on getting to know them. There's already a whole party about you.
Yeah.
So
exactly. Yeah. And you can say all this to a girlfriend. Like, why are you saying this to the baby mama? Ugh. Gross.
Now, I don't know. I don't want to miss this because I think you might have missed it. There was so much going on at this baby shower, but I think this is so crazy. They had the only Black person there saying, you guys make such a beautiful couple, or you're going to make such a beautiful kid, something like that. And then the person next to her said, you and Christopher are like a poster for Aryan breeding.
Yeah, why did they throw? What a compliment.
Oh, I do have the one Black person. She said she's going to be beautiful. And Whitey next to her said, you and Christopher are like a poster for Aryan breeding. Like, that's why she's going to be beautiful.
That's right.
Holy
she's gonna be
wow.
The whitest white. I mean, you find the white supremacist at a party.
You don't even have to be a white supremacist. We are all white supremacists because your baby coming out diluted has been a positive for even people who aren't white. Like my brown parents are like, oh my God, will we get to have blue eyes for our grandkids because our son is marrying some blonde chick? Like they were hoping the baby would have blonde hair.
Wow. Yeah.
They're not blonde. It's just prettier that way.
That's right.
Interesting.
Would you say that at a baby shower?
I think people would, yes. Because I think that we weren't even aware of how racist. But Aryan, to use the word Aryan.
Breeding, and then breeding like they're horses or something.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's bred with wide hips. She'll be a good breeding horse.
And that was just like a thing that she. Oh,
yeah, that was a thing.
Was a compliment.
Was one of many things that happened as a compliment. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what?
I did not clock the colors of the people saying it, though. I don't see color. I didn't.
You know what? This is the first time I clocked that.
I didn't see the. I did hear Aryan breeding. I thought that was like something somebody would say as a joke. Like, thank God you and your husband are both white because your baby will be. No, I don't. It's not funny.
No, that was real.
Know your audience.
I thought they had the black person saying it. I was like, wait, whose face did that come out of? I had to rewind and go, no, they didn't.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no. She's going to be beautiful. Yeah, she's so Aryan. Nice. Oh my God. And then there's the 2.7 miles. Now, if you're going to Harvard and your dad lives in Boston, it's not crazy that he has a room for you. That's actually nice.
Yes.
That's
and then
nice.
she insulted, she said, dorms are gross. What did she say about dorms?
Oh, I didn't.
She was like, I'll be living in the dorms. And she's like, dorms are gross. And I was like, hey.
No, they're exactly what. No.
She'll
kids
be
that
at
age
Harvard.
are gross.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah, and it's Harvard.
It's Harvard dorms. Like, they've been there. I don't know, whatever. But yes, it's not out of the question that you would go do your laundry at dad's or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's not crazy. So, like,
3 miles, you can bike there.
You can walk there. I didn't see it as that over the top. Lorelai took it to the top.
Well, it's because this is still a stranger. And I think you should try to make friends with me before you make friends with my daughter. I think that your whole energy is pushing the relationship, not only that you want with someone, but how you want it. And like, that's not how you invite someone else's daughter to your house.
Yeah.
It's aggressive.
Yeah. She's too aggressive.
Her father.
This whole woman is too aggressive.
Yes.
She's too much.
Mm-hmm.
Lorelai didn't even want to be there. Can you imagine all this happened at a party you didn't want to go to? Oh, this poor woman.
And also Sherry's obsession with her being a ballerina. As soon as she has legs, she's, shut up.
Yeah.
How many people get to be ballerinas? Also, they're not all female.
Yeah.
You're so annoying. Like that's the kind of thing that, you know, parents have always put. I saw a ballerina before you were born. Great. Now I got to be a ballerina.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I was a ballerina at 7. I was in ballet school.
Sure.
And then I broke my leg and I never picked it up again.
How'd you put in ballet school?
No, I broke my leg skiing. And then by the time it healed, I forgot I ever did ballet. I just like moved on to other things. But no, for a minute I was like, well, I want to be a ballet dancer. How different my life would have been. Whoa.
Not that different.
Be totally
You're an
different.
artist. It's the same.
I'd be dancing right now, doing this podcast, but in a tutu.
Oh, so my life would be different.
No, your life would be the same, but I'm wearing a tutu.
Are you kidding? My life has changed. You in a tutu.
Because of me in a tutu?
Yes.
Okay.
What did you think of Lorelai messing up the bathroom?
I did not like that. Don't mess up someone else's bathroom.
Okay.
But I get the impulse.
I thought I saw you enjoying it.
I get the impulse. I mean, I understand the impulse to be like, I need to like make this woman's life difficult in some way because she's really rubbing it in how easy and blissful her life is. I thought she was going to like pee in the shampoo or something. So I
Yeah.
get what she was doing, but don't mess with someone's bathroom stuff. I was of two minds.
Also, like, who do you think she's gonna think it is?
Right.
And you're being such a baby. And again, you're doing it in front of your kid.
I know.
That's not
Yeah.
actually your best friend. This is why I say your kid is not your best friend, because you're always going to be her mother.
Yep.
So you can't.
They're enmeshed.
Yes.
So we get to Luke finally gets the truth out of Jess, and then makes fun of him.
I really always hated that.
I'm like, Jess didn't want to tell you because he knew you'd make fun of him. Then he finds out the truth and he still makes fun of him.
Yeah. And then it's just like when Jess says, oh, I'll just work at a diner, you take offense. But when he says he works at Walmart, you don't acknowledge the responsibility that he
like you must have wanted a car that badly to get a second job and keep it a secret. You know,
also, Walmart will fire you. He's got to be going.
And like, I mean, I don't know. Why would you make fun of someone, a young person, for taking initiative to like get a job?
What job do you think he's going to get?
Gigolo,
McDonald's,
apparently.
or
like
what?
Luke
Yeah.
was like, "Are you a gigolo?" I'm like, "All right, maybe." Like he's not a drug dealer. Like you got an embarrassing job at Walmart. Shut up, Luke.
Yeah.
Like let a man work.
Is that more embarrassing that he went on a Friday afternoon to take a class to get his license, to learn how to use a forklift and be allowed to use a forklift, and then go there for his shifts? Is that more or less embarrassing than wiping the table after a girl you had a crush on?
Yeah, exactly.
What's more embarrassing? The fact that you tell him what to wear in front of the customers?
Yeah.
What's more embarrassing?
Oh, he has to wear a blue vest? I mean, shut up.
It's a great job.
It's not even that it's a great job or
though.
not. It's just, it's a job. It's the job he could get because he wanted the money to get a car. Like, what's the difference?
You're 17.
If he was a drug dealer, you'd understand.
You're right.
You know, like, oh, that tracks. But because it's quote unquote embarrassing, you're like, Jess would never get a job at Walmart. It's too embarrassing for him. He should get a job as a drug dealer.
More embarrassing? Like, isn't doing illegal things, shouldn't that be more embarrassing?
Exactly. Like, he's on a payroll. Like, he's you know, paying into Social Security.
Right.
He's gonna have a work history. And like, if he's working in the back and he's restocking, it's fairly straightforward. He can get, you know, not that you get good at it or not, but like, he took the initiative. Like,
and there's, I think at places like Walmart, McDonald's, there's places to move forward in your life in that. If you start at 17 in Walmart, I mean, Walmart has a bad history with pay, and there's the whole whatever, but it's still a track that you thought he was like derailed completely.
Yes, exactly. This was a person you thought was a lost cause.
Right.
And now he's working 2 jobs.
Right. 3
One
jobs
is on
if
actual
you count the
payroll.
gutters.
You know, like,
yeah,
and 3 if you count the gutters. 1 is on a payroll. 1 is manual. 2 are manual. 1, you know, like, this is a very
you might want to be like, hey, just work at Walmart, not at my diner, because how many jobs does a kid have to have? You were just doing that so he can have a sense of responsibility and be somewhere at
He's
at a
clearly
certain time.
showing initiative. Yep.
Yeah. That's so, and I think across the board, everybody's thinking that, like all the Gilmore friends, it's like Walmart's a job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even as an adult, you don't make fun of someone who works at Walmart.
I've been unemployed as an adult, and I took literally any job because it's more than $0. I was like, I have $0. Any job is going to be plus $0. So like, you take the whatever comes your way because you need anything. It's not, I don't know. I hate when people crap on like beneath them jobs. Like, oh, you're an idiot because you're working at McDonald's. Shut up.
Lorelai was a maid at an inn.
Don't make fun of someone for their employment. Make fun of someone for wearing green to a baby shower. I don't know. Make
I
fun
don't
of
know
someone.
what was Luke doing when he was 16? What job? Like, you get the entry level job. These are entry level jobs.
Not everyone can be a gigolo drug dealer, you guys. Some people have to work at McDonald's.
These jobs, like you said, you are now making more than zero, and you now can like be a member of society. You're contributing all the things that you said. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, but everyone, but also there is the thought and the history of Jess and rubbing people the wrong way. Stealing from the tin, causing Dennis the Menace versions of mayhem in a small town, enjoying getting under other people's skin. Then we get to the deviled car. So I believe on my first couple rewatches, I was like, yeah, throw the eggs. Now I think what should have happened, you know what? You go first.
First of all, deviled eggs are a delight.
I wish I liked them. I don't.
They are delicious.
I don't.
It is one of the better format of egg.
I hate mayo.
Is a deviled egg. You are incorrect. And I will now make fun of you for your life choices, including
totally
to
fair.
not like deviled eggs. So I was like, when she's like, she made us take deviled eggs. In my head, I was like, ooh, deviled eggs. I want one. Like, maybe I could make some. It's not a thing you really make.
If you said mini quiches to me, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, deviled eggs are not a thing I usually make for myself to just eat. But yeah, given an excuse to make deviled eggs, I'm all over it. Secondly, I don't like vandalizing people's property.
Yes.
And thirdly, I don't like wasting food. And I don't think Jess in this moment had done anything to the fact that he got a car makes everyone mad at him. When Lorelai was mad at him for hurting Rory. And
Rory wanted to take responsibility, like it was partially my fault too.
Right. And now Lorelai wouldn't let her. So the way they get around this is to throw food onto a person's car. I don't like it. I know I am a big stick in the mud because egging someone's car is a time-honored tradition of teenagers. I've never done it. I always thought it was stupid. Food is precious. There's, I don't like it.
And I agree with you, especially on the food is precious thing and just the sanitary aspects of eggs and, specifically eggs. I hated when that was a thing on Halloween. Like you could get egg on you because now people are throwing egg. Like that always grossed me out. Throwing eggs at people's houses was happening during Halloween. That grossed me out. What I think is I probably did not this, maybe not with food, maybe not throwing things at people's car, but maybe at this age I did something equally stupid or obnoxious or illegal, I imagine. Something. So it was like kind of appropriate for Rory, although it wasn't the right reason or any reason to do that. You shouldn't do that. So I can't be an adult saying you should do that. But as a 17-year-old to do that, it's the fact that she did it with Lorelai.
With her grown mother.
She should have said, all right, whatever. I'm going to take the deviled eggs. I'm going to go to Lane's place. Maybe I'll offer her some. Lorelai goes home. Lane and Rory go and devil egg the car.
Right.
Lorelai can find it a little bit funny and just kind of keep to herself. And, the best she could do to be a cool mom is just mind her own business when she sees the devil-egged car. But don't.
Lorelai starts chucking them.
Yeah.
What is she doing? What are you doing?
That's the inappropriate. Like, that's the next level. You're also not allowing your teenager to be appropriately teenagery. You're saying this is both an adult and a teenage thing to do. She should be a little embarrassed, send her mom home and do it with the other idiot in town, someone her age. That's it. So then if the cops find you, you don't go, my mother and I were throwing eggs
my mom
at
and I egged this car. My mom and I egged a teenager's car.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know. Yeah, it was really juvenile. Do people like this? Like, when on the rewatches, does this scene age well, or?
I don't know. I think like it didn't age well for me, but I used to like the myth of the cool mom because I had such an overprotective mom. I loved when moms were like "Ew," together. I'm like, and
I had a cool mom and she would not help me egg a car.
no, and when you don't have the cool mom, you're misguided as to what cool
Right.
is.
Like, but there is an in-between mom you know what I mean?
Yes.
There's in between
Yes.
Mrs. Kim and Lorelai is like a normal
Yes.
person who's like cool and doesn't sweat the small stuff, but doesn't help you do really stupid.
Right.
And like, I'm not against pranks. Like, pulling an amazing prank that causes no property damage, but is funny is like, please, like, be a little more creative than like, we threw eggs at your windows, like, do a better prank. You can certainly come up with something more interesting.
But okay, like maybe, when you and Jess turn 30, you could be like, by the way, it was me. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
but not me and my mom.
Me and my mom.
God, cringe.
Also, like, if there's deviled eggs on my car, I want to eat them. I'd be like, oh, yum, deviled eggs, my favorite.
Luke and his paprika.
Ooh, tiny quiches. I want one.
Oh, okay, now I get it. God, quiches are good. Oh, I'm getting hungry. Okay.
I know, me too. I'm getting hungry. All right, let's wrap this up so we can eat.
I really always thought that I like that they make the screeching noises out of their faces.
I know. I've never been able to do a proper peel out. I've always been afraid of messing up my car.
Yeah, I think if I ever did it, I did it by mistake, and I was like, "Ooh."
Yep.
But the look on Rory's face, though, was very, very cute during the convincing of getting the deviled eggs onto Jess's car. She's active, aggressive, destructive, but not too destructive. Yes, say that to Lane. I just liked her face. I liked her acting, but yeah. So I always thought that would be the last scene. They're peeling off. They go into the sunset, whatever. But we have the protest.
Yeah.
Did you think there would be a protest?
The F plot of this episode was what this guy is protesting, and they're like narrating it. I mean, it's very funny. Like, it's a very funny scene. The whole town is there. They're not engaging with him, but they are narrating everything he's doing to each other. Oh, he's bringing a thing. Oh, can I help you? Oh, he doesn't need the help. Oh, what is he holding? Da-da-da. He goes up there, and then it's backwards. And they're like, it's backwards. And then it rips. And we still, to this day, don't know what it was. Then he shouts something from like the bell tower, and nobody can hear him. So we still, to this day, never find out what he was protesting.
The protest that they heard was, I heard Jell-O, but then they were like, is he for or against Jell-O? Stop the noodle scoos, which is what Gilmore friends say to each other. I say we say hello to each other. Stop the noodle scoos. Or drop the students' school. So we haven't found out. And I was like, oh, turn it over. I felt every one of the, he just needs to turn it over. Oh, it ripped. And I always wonder, like, how did they make the thing fall and not show? And like, it was pretty good for a prop to work well in the scene.
Yeah.
Or am I giving it too much credit? I don't know.
I think they just didn't write anything on the other side. I don't think they had to hide what was there. It
looked like there was something, but then they had to hide that nothing was on the other side. I don't know.
I guess well done.
Yeah. I do think it's cute that when Jess finds out about his car, he calls Uncle Luke over. Luke, look what they did to my car.
Yeah.
That was kind of sweet.
And like realizing it was prepared food. Like they didn't just throw it, like they prepared food to throw it on your car was like really, really rubs it in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like people throwing like made hamburgers at your car. You're like, wow. They had to assemble this hamburger to chuck it at my car.
See, but I would think they're just done with this is the worst hamburger. You know who deserves the worst hamburger? That. Like, so it's not, I've
had things thrown at my car.
Pardon?
Not in anger.
Mm.
All right. One time I was driving behind a horse truck and I got horse feces all over my car. And I didn't know what it was at first because it happened really quickly. And I couldn't tell what was on my windshield. and I turned my windshield wipers
Oh, oh,
and it just smeared.
oh,
And then I could see tiny, tiny bits of hay.
oh.
And then I put it together that I was looking at a horse's butt, and now there was hay on my windshield, and a horse had pooped on my car. And it smelled like horse manure. And then I had to get a car wash and explain why there was horse diarrhea on my car. That really happened to me.
Where were you? In Amish country? Like where?
I was in Santa Fe. I know exactly where I was on the road too. I was on my way. I was coming into Santa Fe from the north where I lived, and a horse pooped on my car. Diarrheaed on my car.
Diarrhea.
That really happened. I had friends who saw it. They saw the aftermath.
But how did it get so close that it got on your windshield and not just
to this day?
Oh my God.
I don't know. Like I said, I blinked and it was covering my windshield.
Oh my God.
I thought something had fallen from the sky onto my car.
Oh my God.
Because it hadn't registered. I almost had an accident, and then I would have been like, sorry, I had an accident because a horse pooped on my windshield. I mean, it was all over the front too.
Oh, I had to do it.
I know. It's the worst story ever. If you can cut this out, producer, you can cut out the horse
I want to cut
story.
it out of my brain. If you were, first of all, we're not cutting anything. If you were to say, gotcha, that didn't happen right now, I'd be like, okay, that makes more sense. That was a stupid
really
story.
Happened. It really happened. And then I think like a bird, like I got my car cleaned up and then a bird pooped on my car, which is way more common and not even notable. Yeah. But it was funny at the time because then it was like, what animal won't poop on Carrie's car?
Oh my God.
And like, so if someone saw an animal pooping, they were like, oh, I tried to get it to come to your car. To poop on.
Oh my
like it became a running joke that animals just crap on my car.
Yeah. Wow.
Yep,
Okay.
So horse and bird pooped on my car.
I mean, if poop actually means good luck, like they say, you're the luckiest person I know. Well,
I graduated from college.
Yeah. Oh, what luck!
See, it's poop. It's
Oh, so this actually ends with Lorelai and Rory passing Jess. Rory goes, "I was home all night last night," which is cute again because you're both teenagers and whatever. But I don't know.
Now he knows.
You like him.
And you're being obnoxious. Lorelai is obnoxious. She's an obnoxious person.
Yes.
She wanted to go to the party to crap all over it. Like a horse once did to my Honda.
Yes. She's the horse that crapped
She's the horse to my red Honda. Yeah.
Yes. You're right.
And Lorelai is rubbing it in to Jess's face. It's mean. Why?
What's not fair is that this was depicted as the cool girl. And if I'm being honest, this is what I aspired to be. You know, the person who's like, I'm just cooler than everything. Like, if you don't like things somehow, I mean, Jess is behaving the same way, but he has an excuse. He's 17. He's like, too cool for school. Lorelai, you are no longer too cool for school. You graduated.
Yeah. You're done.
Yeah.
Set a better example.
So in every episode, we're like, Lorelai, do better. And we're like, we love Lorelai. She's just flawed.
Well, she's the main character. It'd be awful to watch it if we actively disliked her. She's got redeeming characteristics too, but man, she did not shine through in this episode.
It's freaking less and less on every rewatch. I can't help it. Yeah, because this isn't the cool girl anymore. It's not. There's like, people are way more equal based on personality than when we grew up.
Yeah. I mean, Rory's the cool girl. She's staying true to herself. You know?
I mean, not with this Jess thing, but like, she's more of the cool girl than her mom.
She likes to just like read on the couch. Leave me alone. And she's a member of the Puffs, so she's cool.
Oh, is she?
Didn't she get in?
Did she? Did they finish? Does that ceremony count?
No,
did they ring
it'll never come up again.
Never.
All right, what do you got trivia from me? Hit me.
Season 3, episode 6, Take the Deviled Eggs. November 5th, 2002 is the release. And on IMDb, I learned a lot. So the town loner was played by Dan Palladino.
Oh.
The co-creator.
Husband and co-writer.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was interesting. I was like, oh, that's cool. Another one is, you know Maureen, one of the friends, she's the publicist, and she said in the episode, she meant to run all these people down, but you didn't hear it from me. I was like, that's got to be a reference to her being a PR person. So this is what it said on IMDb. This is a reference to July 2001 incident where celebrity publicist Elizabeth
Oh, yes, that's
Grubman
right.
backed. Why am I reading without my glasses?
On Long Island. Yes, she backed into I totally forgot about that.
Me too. She backed her Mercedes into a crowd of people outside. Why does this not scroll well for me? Anyway, you remember this?
Outside a nightclub, yeah. And then, because she was just like mad. And didn't she kill a bunch of people?
She was tried criminally on 26 felony charges and was civilly held liable for charges.
Okay, so maybe nobody died, but a lot of people got injured.
26 felony charges. That had to be several people in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
So also, Sherry asked Lorelai what books she read, when she was pregnant. And Lorelai said some random book that had nothing to do with. So she's like, how did you know how to raise Rory? She referenced the movie For Keeps. Now, this is not just on IMDb. A lot of people said this about this episode. For Keeps, starring Molly Ringwald, was released in 1988. Rory was born in 1984, which leads me to believe that she was 100% joking.
Right.
And she's just making a teenage pregnancy reference thing to go, hey, remember I was a teenager. Like, this is stupid.
Yep.
So I kind of think that makes sense. Then another thing is, so did you notice that the rabbi had a cast on?
No, the rabbi had a cast on? Mm-hmm. Is that why they were sitting so close?
No.
To hide a cast?
No, because it was right there. It was like, yeah.
On his arm?
Mm-hmm.
I missed it.
It was on the table. He wasn't hiding it. It wasn't like, it wasn't like, oh, we saw it. But his name is Alan Blumenfeld, who played the rabbi, David Barons. So it was Rabbi David. So he has a cast on because he tore his bicep tendon in real life before the audition. So he had it in the audition. They hired him. He still had a cast on.
Sometimes town people have broken arms.
Right? So I
didn't even notice. I did not even notice.
I like that he still went out on auditions, and I like that they still cast him. Like a rabbi can have a broken something.
Totally.
Very cool. Yeah. And then the last thing, I noticed this when I first watched it, but it's been a while, so I don't know if you're going to notice this. You know the guy who played Jesus? Mm-hmm. His name is Ken Davishian, and he was in the movie Borat in 2006. Huh. Do you remember this? He played a major character in the movie. He was the producer and buddy of like.
And he sits on his face naked. Was this guy?
Maybe he did. Yeah. Like, yes, you got a thumbs up. His name was Azamat Bagadov in the movie.
Funny.
The movie Borat was a chef's kiss beyond chef's kisses. Sacha Baron Cohen is one of the geniuses of our time. Uh-huh. And I think he's impressive and amazing. And also the things that he does for us only reveal what a bunch of morons everybody is, and that's sad.
It's a mirror. He's showing a mirror to us, and we don't like what we see. We should change the man in the mirror. And did you get the Annie Hall reference of this episode? Clearly, the writers are fans of Annie Hall. But there is a scene where it's Christopher Walken, a baby Christopher Walken is in the car driving Woody Allen to the airport. And he's like, sometimes I want to veer off into oncoming traffic. He says it all creepy and Christopher Walken like, and it's very funny. But that was referenced in this.
Oh, okay. Because, she said, oh, don't do Dwayne from Annie Hall again.
Yes. And I was like, oh, my God, are they not going to say that that's an Annie Hall reference? Because,
Yeah, so it is unbelievable how many references.
You should see Annie Hall because we reference it a lot. Yeah.
I should. Yeah. Okay. Do you have any predictions? Will I see Annie Hall?
No, you will probably never see Annie Hall. I will act it out for you
Ooh.
in interpretive dance one day.
But don't say the word baby.
I won't say the word baby.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we didn't see Dean this episode. Did we see him even last episode? Next episode is a Dean episode for sure. They have to break up. When are they breaking up? Next episode, we got to see Dean. They got to talk about their relationship. It's too long. We also need to get back to Lane and her crush on Michael. Who's the guy in the band?
Dave.
Dave. We need to get back the same. Oh, she's dating the rabbi. Yes, Lane and the rabbi get together. It was inevitable when you think about it. I think something has to happen with Dean next episode. I'm not standing for it. It's been we're 6 episodes in. This is ridiculous. They kissed. Stop kissing. And
you think Dean and Rory will break up?
They better. Yes, they need to break up.
So next episode we have, I'm going to start writing this down because I end up doing it for the wrap-up show. I'm writing it here. Next episode we have to see Dean and they have to break up. And Lane and the rabbi get together.
Lane and the rabbi get together. I think, I don't know, the plots don't go linearly, like one episode to another. Are we ever going to see John Hamm again? I think not. Which is a waste of John Hamm. I mean, you got him. Like, let's do this. I think we're 3 episodes away from a hilarious Sherry Has the Baby episode.
We're 3 episodes from that?
Yeah. So I'm putting it at episode 9 or 10. 7, 8, 9.
From Sherry having it hilariously?
Yeah, there's something, because births on TV are always hysterical. They're always very funny. You did this to me, ha ha ha. She says funny things. I don't think we're going to be in the birthing room, but I think they're like, I don't know. Chris is gonna have to go give birth somehow. Yeah, Chris is gonna be in Stars Hollow doing something stupid, and then he's gonna get a call that he has to go give birth. It's gonna be annoying. I put that at episode 10. And
so he'll be in Stars Hollow and have to go to Sherry?
Yes, because she's giving birth. Because she planned for the C-section and therefore that won't come to pass. Like she'll go into labor early. That's what you get for trying to plan things. Stupid. Okay. Is the messaging we're getting.
Ooh.
Yeah. So she'll go into early labor. Chris will have to get out of bed with Lorelai to go be at her side. Some crap like that. It's going to be some bullshit like that. Those are my predictions.
That was amazing. Also, by the way, I got a note that Dan Palladino is also the person who wrote this particular episode.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So he did.
So maybe he writes Lorelai being horrible more often than
I read that.
Yeah. We have to keep track of which writer is writing Lorelai for which episode.
I can add that to my notes.
Maybe
reveal it at the end so we're not affected by it with our thoughts.
Yeah.
Influenced is the word.
Yeah.
That's what affected with our thoughts.
Affected with it by our thoughts.
Did we affect you with our thoughts? Can you hit subscribe? If we affected you in any way.
If we affected you with our thoughts, hit subscribe. Thanks so much for joining us. And find us over on Patreon if you so desire. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.